Testing, 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 testing. I think we're good. Levels is all right. Hold up. Let me. I hope that works, man. What's going on, everybody? GeorgeOhShoot back at it again with another video. This time, we're going to talk about what got me wanting to into firearms. And I think this is appropriate because here in the great state of New Jersey, they done gave back a little bit of rights that we had already. Then they took away. Then we got it back. If you haven't heard, maybe in the next few weeks, these 10-round magazines are just going to be simple backup magazines. And I'll have to finally get 10 plus magazines for my ARs and for my pistols. Right now, at the moment, what firearm am I going to be talking about? So, I always liked going to the range and shooting. And I never thought past that, like, hey, when you want to get your own? So I was watching a show on YouTube. I want to say it was Louder with Crowder. And his show was sponsored by a particular firearm company. And I kind of they'll have the little, commercial segment. I was looking at it. I was like, that is one nice pistol right there. What is that called? Walther? Well, in New Jersey, you can't just go to the gun store and be like, hey, I want to go get this gun. Excuse me. It doesn't work like that. Spark Notes version, basically, you first have to fill out the form online. You have to get some type of identification number for the county that you're living in, which is also available online. I think it's called like EIN number or something, or IE, some weird number, right? Then once you find that number for the county that you'll be submitting your paperwork to, you have to choose to either renew or get a new firearms ID. The reason why there's a renew option, well, now the renew option is for all of their stuff, but me, I'm grandfathered in. So that renew option only applies for pistols. Here, you need a separate pistol permit to buy pistols. And then you have one permit to buy long guns. So, generally speaking, if it's your first time doing this, you want to get a long gun, you want to get a pistol. So you do them both simultaneously. Then the questions are pretty straightforward. You probably see them at the range, oh no, I'm skipping a part. Then it's like your identification, right? Name, who you are, where you're born, where you've lived in the past 10 years or 120 months. Then references. Then like the typical questions that you're going to see for your rest of your gun journey life about, either you want to overthrow the government or you high on drugs, or, are you making this purchase for someone who can't have a firearm legally? Like, they ask you all that. and you pay them some money, and then you book an appointment to get your fingerprints. I'm like, all right, cool. Go ahead, you do that, get your fingerprints done. Then the county that you live in, police department, should hit you up, say, hey, got your stuff, looks all right. Before we can send that, we need some more money from you. Once you do all that, then you get the permit to buy. You go to the store, right? And then you be like, hey, I want that one. And guess what? You're going to fill out almost an identical piece of paperwork you filled out to even get the license. That also costs money. And then whatever firearm you had to be New Jersey compliant. So New Jersey compliant means you're going to spend a little bit more money. But you finally will get it, right? So after I did all of that, I'm not going to tell you how long it took because that will upset me. But I didn't get the gun that I saw on that show. I got a separate gun. That'd be my carry gun. But my second gun was that gun. That gun is, of course, this is my Walther PDP Full Size. The Holosun, Inforce light. That's about it. I have not done anything else to this. You know, it's just not butt naked. How many rounds do I got through this bad boy? Not that many. Maybe 500 rounds through this. People say this gun is snappy. I don't know. I think it just wants to be shot fast. I don't know. I get that. This one to be shot fast. Look. I don't know if y'all can see that. Oh, yeah. Feels great in the hand. You know, mags are drop safe. This is the OG version 2.0. Not the dynamic trigger, but the performance trigger, which is still pretty good. Yeah, still pretty good. Until they until they have them available, I will be getting the 18 round mags for this, which is crazy because right now, Walther was selling many of their mags for their PDPs for like 40% off. So hopefully by the time of this recording, you can still get that deal. But yeah. Now, why did I say I'm going to be getting the 18 rounders for this bad boy instead of the 10s? One, that's the standard capacity for a full size duty gun like this right here. 18, usually between 17, at least 17 rounds for full size guns are standard in most places and soon to be New Jersey. Yeah. So what ended up happening was more pseudo history lessons. Try to be as succinct as possible, but we had the ability to carry. Now, that ability to carry came from something called the Bruen versus somebody. Shout out to Bruen. Shout out to those somebodies. Shout out to the NRA and all those people. But essentially, the Supreme Court ruled that the government can't make laws for the greater good because it's too vague. So they forced the government to say, hey, you can keep these restrictions as long as you can make these arguments using history and like laws on the book, essentially, like the Constitution. All right. And they couldn't make that argument. Supreme Court said, if you can't make the argument, then you can't be having these type of laws. They're unconstitutional. Now, what are these laws they talking about for carries? So in the United States, there were three type of carry laws. Carry statuses or carry states. You had constitutional carry, you had shall carry, and you had may carry. New Jersey was a may carry state along with 7 other states, right? And may carry sounds like shall carry and constitutional carry because because of Constitution, all citizens have the right to go and purchase a handgun or long gun or any type of firearms that is available that's ever existed in life. As long as you're not like a convicted criminal or, anything too crazy. Shall carry is that plus you'll need some type of permit. You might have to take some type of qualification. You may have to do some type of background check. There's some thing added that you have to do, pass, and be okay. That's shall carry. May carry is you do those things I mentioned prior, and you got to write some type of love letter to some government official explaining why you even want to carry your handgun outside of your home. Now, what the Supreme Court did was say, hey, this is an interesting, caveat. You claim here that no one can say in this letter that they're doing it because of the Second Amendment, self-defense, and all that. You claim that is not valid enough, which is okay. We're trying to be on your side. That's what the Supreme Court said. We're trying to be on your side. So how many people have you rejected at this point of the application process? And the state was like, many. Okay, how many people did you approve? They're like, not that many. Okay, so what? Why are there so many, people getting declined? Why so small people are? Like, who are these small people? And then it turned out the small amount of people were people that knew politicians or they were like celebrities or something like that. And the Supreme Court said that's a really high bar to carry and exercise your Second Amendment rights. Y'all gotta wow us. Like, why is it like that? State cannot wow them. Couldn't do it. And so they're like, listen, you can't do it like this. Stick to the Constitution, stick to historical precedent. That's it. And because they verbalized it like that, fast forward a few years later, where the Third Circuit, I only know this because it just happened. The Third Circuit, right? They were talking about the assault weapons ban and the large capacity bans, right? And they held it up to that exact same standard. Why is it that semi-automatic rifles that are in common use all over the country are okay in all these other places, but what's so special about these locations here that the laws got to be so vastly different? And we in the same country, essentially, And again, the state couldn't give a good argument as to why that was the case, which is why they ruled that these bans are unconstitutional, and I will eventually will be getting my 18 round max. What a glorious day to be a New Jersey gun owner. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Now, I don't carry the Walther, but when I go to the range, I do my draws. This is the core belt. I think it's their range belt or duty belt or battle belt or something like that. Safari. Level 3. Level 3. Level 3, dog. Level 3. This can't rip that out, but I got dog. Yeah. Yeah, the core belts, when I am at the range, I do like the core belts. They're very, very good. I think that's probably the most popular belt they have. You know, I have ones that are more normal that I wear for my other gun, but this is kind of like the range thing. And when I thought about doing armed security, I was going to be trying to walk around like this, like this, son. I just like taking it out that level 3 holster. Like it's so cool. The little, like you get used to it. You can take it out, get real good times with it. But I do like doing that. Um, Anything else? Oh yeah. So the core belts, I do recommend them. They have the EDC versions, also very good. Matter of fact, may sound cliche, but when it comes to belts, you want to pick good belts from reputable brands, reputable, rep, rep, rep,
Niggas like you my whole life.
whatever the word is, man. Brands, because I made a mistake. I had bought like an Amazon like gun belt, and it didn't really work out well. But I was stubborn. But I had a really good holster, really good holster. Bad belt equals your holster is going to break in some shape or fashion. But really good holster, really good belt, you're going to have little issues. Take my word for it, please. Save your bread. But yeah, Core's one of the better ones out there. Um, I went with the Safariland Level 3 holster because of, unfortunately, the Walther PDP is not one of the most popular handguns in New Jersey. Um, Actually, anywhere really. I have a light on here by Inforce. They're very new. I mean, when I bought it, it was new. Got like a little, you know. So Safariland actually makes level 3 holsters that can fit this gun, this light, and of course the Holosun combination. So many of them do, but not level 3. Level 3 was tough to get. That was like the only brand that did it for that setup. Like if I had a Glock or Smith and Wesson, then I have much more options. So that's something to consider. You know, if you buy one of the more popular brands, you're not going to run into any gear issues. It'll be relatively straightforward. Probably can pick up everything in the store all at once. But if you're like me, who's complicated, You're gonna have to hit up 5011 stores and then see which one of those is gonna rock with you. Or go on Reddit. Shout out to the Redditors. But that's enough for me. Anything else to say? Oh. One more. That's the safe I use. Fingerprint, keypad. Change your batteries in your safes like yearly. That one takes 9-volt batteries. Chinese. I actually bought it for a really good deal because they were like debuting on it, Amazon or whatever. You know, Amazon sometimes will have their Prime days, or they have another day on Amazon. Y'all would know, and they just slash prices on all the new entries. And that's a day I got for I think under $150. Now that save is like over $200. Probably not, but you know, look for them deals. Anyway, that's enough for me. This is GeorgeOhShoot, and I got nothing more to say. I'll be back soon. Have a good night.